Hi, I'm Luke Ayers. Today let's talk about light and bright light. So for most starting out product photographers, or you want to photograph just your own stuff, the most common kind of light that many people will be using is called a constant light. A light that is constantly on when you turn it on. That's as opposed to a flash, which is the more, professional level of lighting. But there's one problem. Why do you go eventually? Why do the pros use flash and not constant lights? The problem is that a constant light, the big setback of constant lights is that they're not bright enough. Okay? Let me show you an example. I have a camera here, I have a product here, okay? I have a very cheap white background behind the product. I would like to photograph this, okay? So I'm going to get a constant light, such as one of these awesome little LED lights, blah, blah, blah. Now, okay, good, the camera is on. You can see through what the camera sees right now. It is very dim because there's not much light. But I'm gonna save the day with my constant light, all right? I'm gonna turn this little fella on, point it at it, and ooh, yeah, okay. The shadows and blah, blah, blah are not the prettiest, okay? But look at the example of the brightness. So basically, if this was my only light, I would then just basically find the right angle and photograph the thing. Now look, okay, that looks bright enough, doesn't it? Sure, if you're happy with these camera settings and everything like that, that's fine. However, these camera settings are all wrong. Now, if you know anything about camera settings, there's 3 parts to camera settings. All right, there's other videos which talk more about camera settings, but to keep it short, right now the ISO, the sensitivity of this camera, is actually set very high. It's very high, which means the higher your ISO goes, the brighter the photo will be, but the quality of it degrades the higher you go. Okay, now this is actually set quite high, the ISO, all right? Also, the aperture, which is how wide or closed the hole in the lens is also very open right now. It's very open, which means that not much of the photo will be in focus. Okay, so if you want to get a lot of things in focus and your aperture is very wide open, then only maybe one label will be in focus, or maybe only one object will be clear, and then objects in front of it and behind it will not be clear. So what we have to do is change our camera settings to get a better quality photo, you could say, okay? So look, I'm gonna go ahead and just change these camera settings, and you have a look at how good our bright little light really is once I change these settings. So I'm going to, let me just hold this up here so you can see it. Okay, good. So I'm gonna close down the aperture. All right, something like that. And already we've lost a lot of light. But then I'm gonna actually bring down the ISO in order to improve the picture quality. And it's gone. Here's the problem, because this little light, it sort of looks bright in real life, but once you change your camera settings to the ideal, quality picture-taking camera settings, you quickly find out that this is not bright enough. Constant lights are not bright enough, which is why you get a flash. Because a flash, although it's really annoying because you can only see it for like a split second when it takes the photo, it's super bright, super bright. All right, that's why the pros use flashes or, these sorts of things. But it's like, I don't want to learn how to use flash. It's annoying. I just want to stick with my constant lights because it's easy, because I get a full preview of how it looks. So how do we solve this problem? Because this ain't bright enough. Well, I was sent something which I got very excited about from ZHIYUN. Actually, it's pronounced ZHIYUN. This is incredible. This is the unit right here. This is called a CX100. And it's a bit bigger than this, of course, but the size of this, right? Now, let's just talk about power here, right? Because I didn't even know something like this existed at this sort of, price point that this one is. Because when you take something like this, lights are measured, or the power of a light is usually measured in watts, okay? Watts doesn't actually exactly mean brightness, but it's how much power goes into a light, so it is a good guide for how bright a light can be. Now, for instance, this little buggy is about 5 watts, okay? All right, not bad for 5 watts, okay? But as you can see in our photo here, it's too dark, it's too dark. So then, the folks at ZHIYUN sent me the CX100, which is, this is 5 watt. This is a 100 watt constant light, LED. I didn't even know you could get a light this bright, right? Which is this small, by the way. Of course you can get bright lights, but in this size, with a built-in battery on the side, I mean, what are you talking about? I mean, I like this because it's, battery, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to plug it into a wall, Dude, you can run this thing for almost an hour at full power, and let's see if this is bright enough, okay? So I got to turn this fella on now. And don't look at the light. Oh my God. So my video is destroyed now, but look at the camera shot. It's perfectly exposed for the brightness of the settings that I want. I look terrible to you right now. It's YouTube video destroyed, too bright, but with these camera settings and the power of 100 bloomin' watts of energy into an LED light bulb, that's the benefit of this. Now this also has a dimmer, so we can bring it down slightly, okay? You can also adjust the color of it slightly. You can make it a little bit colder or a little bit warmer, all right? The battery at full power lasts for about 40 minutes, which is not bad for 100 watts, but if you bring down the dimming switch to like lowest, you'll get way longer than that. And you just charge it. You just charge it like you charge your phone. If you want a strong, constant light, you need to look at something like this. More wattage is what you want, okay? And like, I dare say this is probably almost the power of flashes we're talking about, all right? The only annoying thing is that you will be blinded the whole time, because this is honestly, this is literally more powerful than a car's high beams, all right, in this sort of form factor. It's incredible. It's incredible. So if you have to stick to a constant light, but you need something super bright to handle the settings that you need in your cameras, this is the sort of thing to go for. All right. You can also then get an adapter for it. All right, which you can then put like a softbox or something onto the front of it. All right. It just clips on like that. Okay. You put on a stick, put a softbox on front of it, and you're good to go. It's an incredible, I didn't know this sort of technology existed, but it's very cool, okay? So, yeah, and you also have like another bit that comes with it. It's just like a little soft dome, which can just soften the light slightly, but ideally you get this adapter, you can put a big soft box on it, and literally this one unit would be like all you needed, because it is so bright, and with enough light you can do anything. You just need enough light, and little lights don't cut it. So either get a flash or get something super powerful, and you'll have everything you need for your product photos.